For more than 3 decades, the car sat exactly where it had been left. Hidden behind tall grass and rusted fencing, it slowly disappeared from memory as seasons passed, owners changed, and the world moved on. Rain soaked into its paint, dust settled thick on every surface, and time quietly worked against every mechanical part. To most people, it looked like nothing more than scrap metal, a forgotten shell with no value left inside it. But to those who truly understand machines, this abandoned car was not dead. It was waiting. When we first discovered the car, it was difficult to tell what color it once had been. Layers of dirt, moss, and oxidation covered every panel. The tires had long since deflated and partially sunk into the ground. The windows were cloudy, cracked, and coated with grime. Leaves filled the engine bay, and small animals had clearly made the interior their temporary home. Opening the door released a smell of old fabric, moisture, and rust, a scent that instantly told the story of decades of neglect. Still, beneath all of that decay, the shape of the car remained intact, and that alone was enough to spark hope. The decision to restore the car was not an easy one. 30 years of abandonment means every system is compromised. Rubber dries and cracks, metal corrodes, fluids turn to sludge, and electrical wiring becomes brittle or chewed away. This was not a simple repair job. It was a complete resurrection. The goal was not just to make the car run again, but to return it as close as possible to its former glory, respecting its original design while giving it a new life. The restoration began with extraction. The car had not moved in decades, and freeing it from the ground required patience. The wheels were locked, the brakes seized, and the underbody partially bonded to the earth beneath it. Slowly, carefully, the car was pulled free without causing further damage. Once transported to the workshop, it finally sat under proper lighting for the first time in 30 years, revealing the full extent of its condition. The first step was assessment. Every panel, bolt, and component was inspected. Rust had eaten through sections of the floor and lower body panels. The frame showed surface corrosion but remained structurally sound, which was a huge relief. The engine was completely seized, refusing to turn even by hand. The transmission fluid had thickened into a dark paste. The fuel tank smelled rancid, filled with residue from gasoline that had long since broken down. The interior was in rough shape, with torn seats, warped dashboard panels, and brittle trim. Disassembly came next. The car was stripped down piece by piece, each component carefully removed, labeled, and documented. This process alone took weeks. Rusted bolts snapped, parts resisted removal, and unexpected problems surfaced constantly. But with each part removed, the vision became clearer. The body shell was separated from the drivetrain, allowing full access to areas that had been hidden for decades. The engine rebuild was one of the most challenging parts of the entire project. After being removed and placed on an engine stand, it was completely torn down. Internally, the damage was severe. Pistons were frozen in their cylinders, bearings were worn beyond use, and corrosion coated nearly every surface. The crankshaft, however, was salvageable after machining, and the engine block itself remained strong. Each reusable component was cleaned, measured, and restored, while worn parts were replaced with new or refurbished equivalents that matched the original specifications. Once rebuilt, the engine looked almost too clean compared to the rest of the car. Fresh gaskets, new seals, and carefully torqued bolts transformed it from a rusted lump into a mechanical heart ready to beat again. The transmission followed a similar path, with a full teardown, cleaning, and rebuild ensuring smooth operation once the car returned to the road. The fuel system required complete replacement. Old fuel lines were brittle and unsafe, the carburetor was clogged beyond repair, and the tank itself needed extensive cleaning and sealing. New components were installed while maintaining the original layout and appearance. The braking system was entirely overhauled as well, because safety was non-negotiable. New brake lines, rebuilt calipers, fresh pads, and resurfaced rotors ensured that the car could stop as confidently as it could move. Suspension and steering components were next. Bushings had crumbled, shocks had leaked dry, and joints were stiff with corrosion. Each part was either rebuilt or replaced, restoring proper ride height and handling. When the car was finally placed back on its wheels, it stood proudly again, no longer sagging under the weight of neglect. Bodywork was where the transformation became truly visible. Rusted sections were cut out and replaced with freshly fabricated metal panels. Every weld was carefully smoothed, ensuring strength without sacrificing appearance. The entire body was then stripped down to bare metal, revealing hidden imperfections that had to be corrected. Countless hours were spent sanding, shaping, and preparing the surface for paint. Choosing the paint color was a critical decision. Ultimately, the original factory color was selected, honoring the car's history. Multiple coats of primer were applied, followed by layers of paint and clear coat. As the final finish cured and was polished to a deep shine, it was hard to believe this was the same car that once sat abandoned in a field. The reflections on the body told a story of rebirth. The interior restoration brought its own challenges. The seats were stripped down to their frames, repaired, and reupholstered to match the original design. The dashboard was restored, cracks filled and refinished, gauges cleaned and recalibrated. New carpeting replaced what had disintegrated long ago, and every piece of trim was cleaned or refinished. The goal was not modern luxury, but authentic comfort, recreating the feeling of stepping into the car as it would have felt decades earlier. Electrical work tied everything together. The wiring harness was repaired where possible and replaced where necessary. New connectors ensured reliable connections, while original routing was maintained. When power was finally connected and the lights flickered on for the first time in 30 years, it was a powerful moment. The car was waking up. The day came to start the engine. Fresh fluids were added, the fuel system primed, and the ignition checked one final time. With a turn of the key, the engine hesitated briefly, then came to life. The sound was rough at first, then settled into a steady idle. That moment alone made every hour of work worthwhile. A car that had been silent for 3 decades was breathing again. Road testing followed, starting slowly and cautiously. Each mile revealed small adjustments that needed to be made, but overall, the car performed beautifully. Steering was tight, brakes were responsive, and the engine pulled smoothly. It no longer felt like an abandoned relic. It felt alive. This restoration was about more than just fixing a car. It was about respecting craftsmanship, preserving history, and proving that with patience and dedication, even the most forgotten machines can be brought back to life. A car left for 30 years had been given a second chance, not as a museum piece, but as a living, driving machine. Today, when people see the car, they see glossy paint, a clean interior, and a confident stance. They don't see the rust, the dirt, or the decades of neglect it once endured. But those who worked on it remember. And every time the engine starts, it serves as a reminder that nothing truly well-built is ever beyond saving.